I've drawn here a image of a cougar, and I'm going to take my selection tool and just draw a box around the cougar to select it all, or I could have done Control A. And I'm going to right click on this selection and choose Convert to Symbol. That brings up a dialog box, and I can give this symbol a name. Now there are three types of symbols here: MovieClips, buttons, and graphics. Those are the three types of symbols we can create in Flash. There are additional types of symbols that we can import, such as video and audio or bitmaps, but those are not created here in Flash. I'm going to make this a movie clip, and I like to start my movie clip names with the letters MC. That just tells me that it's a movie clip, and I'm just going to call it Movie Clip Cougar. So I've chosen movie clip as the type, and then over here is a registration mark. This is where in the coordinate system of this symbol that I'm creating is the 0, 0 mark going to be. I usually have it either in the upper left hand corner or in the center, and you can click on any of these little squares to create that 0, 0 mark. I'm going to leave it up here in the upper left hand corner, and we'll see in a future video how that is used. There's an advanced setting here. I'm going to ignore all of that, but just to know that there's much more that we can do here. And I'm going to click OK. And when I do that, notice that in my properties, this is now showing that this is a movie clip, and I can give this movie clip an instance name. If you were going to refer to this instance on the stage in code, you'd want to give it a unique name. But what I really want to focus in on is this library panel. And there is my saved symbol in the library. So every symbol that we create or import goes into the library. Now I can actually delete this off my stage, and you'll notice it's still in the library. So I can come back later and just grab the character from the library and create a new instance. So this is the movie clip, and every occurrence of that movie clip on the stage is called an instance. In fact, I can have multiple instances on my stage. And if I were going to do something with them in code, I'd want to give each of them a unique instance name in the properties. Maybe Cougar 1, Cougar 2, Cougar 3. Each of these instances I can modify in terms of resizing. And notice it doesn't affect the others. So each of these are basically a copy from the symbol that's saved in the library. I can also do things like I could rotate down. What I can't do, however, is to burrow down into this movie clip and make some changes to the movie clip itself. Let's say I want to change this white to a purple. Notice it changed it on every instance of my symbol. So I don't want to edit the movie clip, although I have the ability to do that. And there might be something where I realize, oh, I drew something wrong and I want to come back and change it. And I can change it by burrowing down into an instance on the stage to where I'm in the definition for that movie clip. You can see on the timeline here, I'm not in scene 1, I'm in MC Cougar. If I want to go back to scene 1, I'm back on the scene. When I'm burrowed down in, it doesn't matter which one of these I would go into, notice everything else grays out. So I'm burrowed into the instance of this MC Cougar, but again, if I make changes, it's going to affect every other instance. Okay, so let's go back and look at the library a bit. You'll notice I had another symbol already saved, and that was the face that I used in drawing this. I drew the face and saved it as a symbol, and I can grab that instance and bring it on stage. Now, since these are vector drawings, I can scale it, and it's going to scale and look very nice. Undo that. One advantage of, as I'm drawing a character and creating different parts of that character as movie clips, is I could have, in the case of this face, I might have different facial expressions, and I could swap out the movie clip that is part of this movie clip. So in other words, this instance of our MC Cougar movie clip, if I burrow down into it, contains another movie clip of the MC Cougar Face 1. So I can have movie clips inside of movie clips, and I can go as many levels deep as I want with those movie clips. So I might have 4 or 5 movie clips embedded inside another movie clip. And then go back to the library. I can also modify a movie clip from the library simply by double clicking on it here, and now I'm in the editor for that movie clip. So once again, I'm just going to make a slight change here. I'm going to take that tongue, let me zoom in so you can see this a little bit better. So I'm going to take the tongue, it's a group, so I'm going to come down in here another level. So I'm going to scene 1, MC Cougar Face 1, and now I'm in a group that's part of MC Cougar Face. I'm going to change the color of the tongue, and just so you can see this, let's make his tongue green. Okay, so now I'm going to go back out to my scene, and you'll notice that the tongue is green in all these movie clips because those movie clips contain this movie clip. I'm going to undo that. I'm going to do Control Z a few times here. Go back, and now we're back to the pink tongue. Also in the library, I might want to take a movie clip, right click on it and choose Duplicate, and let's just call this one MC Cougar Face 2. And I'm going to go in and edit that movie clip by double clicking on it. Now I'm in the editor for that movie clip. Again, let's just zoom in here. And let's get rid of the tongue in this case. Okay, so now I'm back in the library, and I can drag that instance or that symbol over onto my stage to create another instance. And notice this one does not have a tongue. What I may want to do is, in a animation, is swap this head with another movie clip, and I can do that in the properties. So I've got this movie clip selected, and in the properties I can come down to the swap button, and I can choose to swap that with Face 2. Now in doing that, because I'm modifying this particular movie clip as a whole, it's changing those other instances as well. Okay, I'm going to go back to my scene, and I'm going to get rid of these. Now the other thing I can do with libraries is I have another project open here called Bunny, and this bunny has in the library the rabbit as a movie clip, and I also have a button here that I've created. I'm going to come back to my cougar, and at the top of the library panel is a drop down that shows me all of the projects I currently have open. Well, Bunny is one of those, so I'm going to look at the library for the bunny. And now I can take an object from the bunny library, such as this rabbit, and bring it over to my stage in my untitled project, which has the cougar. And now I'm going to go back to my library for Untitled 1, and notice that the rabbit is now part of this library. So I can bring symbols from other libraries, other projects, into this library. It becomes a great way of working for clients, or maybe you want to create an ongoing cartoon. You're going to have all different kinds of expressions and so forth for different characters. We can store all those in libraries and reuse them. I can also go to the File menu and choose Import Open External Library. And I'm going to go out and find another project. This was a poster I had created, and I've got this external library that has some characters in it, and one of those is I've got a cougar instructor here. I'm going to bring this symbol over from my external library onto my stage, and I'm going to take my external library and simply dock it. And so now I also have this symbol as part of my Untitled 1 library. So I don't have to necessarily open the project to get these symbols from a library. I can just open the library externally. If I were to modify this character or this symbol in this library, it would modify it here but not in the external library.